I love both video games and music, so game soundtracks especially interest me with how they combine the two to create some really memorable gaming moments. One game I particularly enjoy is Mother 3 for the Game Boy Advance. Its soundtrack is weird and unique and totally reflects how the game looks and plays. However, this video isn't just about the Mother 3 soundtrack, it's about a sound in one of those songs. The seed for this video began in the song Fight with Mecha Draco. About 40 seconds in, we hear this sound. You probably recognize it, but you have no idea what it's called. How could you instantly recognize a sound so iconic and yet not really know what it is or what it's called? I wondered this too, and this began my search to find the origin. The story that I uncover is surprisingly more interesting than you might initially think. This is the short story of the Orc 2 sample. As I previously mentioned, my search started with Fight Against a Mecha Draco from the Mother 3 soundtrack. Not sure where to start looking, I posted this on r/whatisthis on Reddit, and the search went cold here for about 3 months while my post lay dormant. Finally, someone responded on that post with a link to a YouTube video by the channel curb.exe called The Most Hype Sound in Gaming. Curb.exe had the same exact question as me, and even linked songs from Mother 3 as well. They were able to isolate a few samples from a variety of different sounds from different games, such as Star Fox and Mother. One of the songs they sampled was from Mother 3 called Open Sesame, or the Funky Monkey Dance. This song actually had quite a few examples of our mysterious sound. And as I was scrolling through the comments, I found this one by 2 to the Power. They mentioned something called an orchestra hit, so I decided to look that up. Searching orchestra hit on YouTube brings up this result by Vox, called The Sound That Connects Stravinsky to Bruno Mars. This video in Vox's Earworm series is exactly what I was looking for. This was like finding the Holy Grail. It had everything I was looking for and perfectly explained the history of where this sound came from. My search had ended, but there was still lots to learn about what this sound was. I highly recommend watching the entirety of that Vox video, but I'll give a brief summary here of the most interesting points. As alluded to earlier, the sound that is sampled in all these songs is an orchestra hit. An orchestra hit is when the entire orchestra all plays a chord together, usually very staccato and at the beginning of a song. The most famous orchestra hit, and the one that is most commonly used in all these samples, is from Stravinsky's Firebird. The opening orchestra hit from Stravinsky's Firebird was put onto the very first digital synthesizer, the Fairlight CMI. The Fairlight was incredibly influential in the music scene in the 80s, revolutionizing how music was made and produced. One of the original samples on the Fairlight was the orchestra hit from Stravinsky's Firebird. One of the very first popular artists to use this sample was Afrika Bambaataa in the song Planet Rock. The first instance of a video game using this sound that I could find was from the original Star Fox on Super Nintendo. Again, if you want to know even more detail, I highly recommend watching the Vox video on this subject. The thing that really excites me about this story is that it indicates that each one of these samples has its own little story to tell, and I've only covered one of the millions of samples that are out there in circulation now. Solving these mini mysteries is really fun, so if you have anything else, please recommend them in the comments. That's all for this one, and until next time, don't forget, we live on a giant spherical cake.